Okay, so when we're looking at progressing from different movements, I want to give you some options. So what we're talking about today is push-ups. So starting out with our push-ups on the counter. And we can even do different options for those as well. So at the beginning, when you're doing a push-up on the counter, the very first one is going to be with a nice wide legs. The wider the base is, the easier. And you can be up on your tippy toes, bringing that chest to the counter, pressing it back. That's too easy. Next step, bring those legs closer together. And then even from here again, to make it harder, you can do slow counts. So count 4 going down, hold it for 2, and 4 going up. So you come down 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it here for 2. Press back up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So before you progress to the next level, be able to do all 3 type of those on the counter. Then if you're like, I can do 10 of those pretty easily without fatigue. Now we come to a lower surface. So we're going to come to the kitchen table. Once again, we always want to pick a sturdy surface. You don't want to pick a chair or something like that until you're advanced because it's going to move on you. Once again, coming to the table. Sorry, let me put this back. Coming to the table, you can have wide arms that work on your pecs a little bit more, or you can have them narrower that are going to work on the triceps. Once again, start with those legs nice and wide. And if you're doing these 2 to 3 times a day, I'd recommend do 1 set narrow, another set wide, then do the last set half and half. So once again, coming down, bringing that chest the whole way, keeping that nice straight body line. You'll notice that I do not arch or snake coming up, so I want to keep straight line, shoulders to hips to ankles. Bring them down. Once I've mastered that, bring those legs closer together. Once I've mastered that, slow count. 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it for 2. 1, then back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you can do 10 of those, next thing we're doing, coming down to the knees. First thing is going to be where I have my feet down that give me a little bit more of an anchor, but I'm also able to push off. So starting here, feet down, coming down the whole way and back up. You'll notice I come up in one full motion. I don't come up with my butt first and then my shoulders to follow, or vice versa. A lot of people do this. So remember, straight body line, down and up. Do the exact same progressions. Take the feet up for the next level of difficulty. Then take it slow down. So there's lots of different options before you move on to that full military push-up that you come down and up. So lots of different ways to do it. Next thing we're going to do, hip circles. First is fire hydrant. So we want some mobility through the hips. Coming down on all fours, you want to make sure the wrists are below the shoulder, knees directly below the hips, hip width apart. We're going to start by lifting right or left leg, doesn't matter which. You're going to lift and bring it back to that starting position. Bring that knee up and bring it back to meet the other knee. A couple things to think about. You're going to shift your weight a tiny bit to that right leg because you're lifting a limb, but try not to make it excessive. I want you to think about keeping your core nice and tight. You're going to lift and lower. 8 to 12 reps, whatever works for you. Right after that, you're going to do hip circles. So you're going to take this leg up behind you, circle it around. Circle. Once again, you don't want to be having too much weight into that other hip. Small amount is fine. After you've done 8 to 12 reps, other direction. Bring that knee up towards your chest. You're doing a mini crunch. Circle it around. Circle it around. And then you'll repeat the same thing on the other side. You want to make that harder? When you lift this leg, you're going to lift this arm. Bring it back down. Lift. Lift. Once again, when you circle, keep this arm out here. Then circle the other direction. You'll find you work those obliques a good amount. So the next thing we talked about, remember, when you're getting up, if you are not strong enough to get up the way I did, have something beside you that you can help use to leverage yourself. So get to where you can use it, but you're pressing through that heel. That next progression, hands on the knee. Most advanced, you won't have to use anything, okay? So in order to get you there, we've got to strengthen those hip flexors. So at the beginning, I want you to hold on to a table, hold on to the kitchen counter, whatever works for you, just for a little bit of extra balance. A typical chair in your kitchen or living room is about 18 inches high. So what we're going to do, start by leaning on your right leg. We're going to lift this left leg. Tap that foot, bring it back down. Alternate. Take that right foot. Now, if you don't feel that you are strong enough to be able to do 10 to 12 in a row, on this particular chair, there's a lower ledge. It's about 6 or 7 inches off. So start with that. Eventually, I want you to be able to do it without holding on to anything. But before you go straight from hold on to the table to nothing, once again, you have progression. So start off, your entire hand here. Then you go to 4 fingers. Then you go to 3. You go to 2. And you go to 1. Before you go to nothing, okay? Balance is something that we have to work on a good bit or we lose it. So even though a lot of us think, okay, well, I can easily do that, prove to yourself you can do it before moving forward to that next progression. So I'd say being able to do 4 fingers for at least a week before you progress to 3 fingers and 2 and 1. All right, let me know if you have any questions.